Hi everyone and welcome to Trades of the Week, and in today's episode we're going to talk about some really exciting things. Not only what exchange is getting sued and why are they getting sued, and the other one is maybe thrown out of US. What is happening and what does this mean, for example, for Binance? Now, what is happening with the banks around the world as well? What happened with the Silicon Valley Bank? Did they get bought out, and what does this mean for the market, and what cryptocurrencies are really making a headway and getting really good attention? Well, in today's episode, you will find out. Before we dive into today's section, I want to really mention this. We have the Investment Mastery, the I Am Insider Facebook group. Make sure you join it. Why? Because in today's environment where we might get into a recession, where it's not safe for anyone really with the jobs, you need to learn how to trade and invest. Because frankly speaking, the money in your bank is disappearing in front of your eyes. So you need to learn how to trade and invest properly, and you can do that for free through I Am Insider. So press the link below to get free access, because you will get free access to courses on how you get started, to exclusive material like the trade of the week, the crypto of the week, the stock of the week, and market updates, so you can be at the forefront on what's happening in the market. So with that being said, let's dive into it. So we're going to start with the stock market and what is happening in there. So I want to look at the previous positions that we have. Now, if you are new to this, a big warm welcome. And just know that we go through all the ins and outs of the market, what you need in roughly 15 minutes. So make sure that you pay attention, and you might not understand all of the strategies right now, but you will as you go along. So the first one we look at is the Buffalo strategy. This is a strategy where we are trading. This is a trading strategy, swing trading. On average, we're in for roughly 34 days. So we look for a solid support with 3 bounces or resistance if we're going short and making money on the way down, which is possible as well. So basically, we look for the 3 bounces. On the third bounce, we enter into the opportunity. And in this scenario, we're actually up 3% at the moment. So we're up 4%, sorry. We're up 4%, or were up 4% yesterday. So we're getting our stop loss to 3% profit to lock in those gains. And that is not 3% on the stock. That is 3% on our entire portfolio, which is incredible. So we're keeping our stop loss there. Looking at the other stocks here, Netflix is an example of this. Has gone up a little bit. We're currently up a little bit more than, we're up 1.29%. So we're getting our stop loss up to break even at the moment as well. Same with VRSN, also on the way up, putting a stop loss at break even on that as well. And the one we entered last week was GM, General Motors Company, which is looking really, really good. But it went down a little bit, which means that we are currently in a slight loss. So if you do your research and you like this as well, you could be entering this also. So what is happening in the market? Before we then dive into the new opportunity we have this week and also into cryptocurrencies, we do want to go through what's happening in the market. There's a lot of mixed emotions in the market. Now, investors, they actually don't think that Fed will raise the interest rates, funnily enough, or more, or the 25-point rate hike is already priced in. And some even argue that we're not going to go into a recession. Actually, the big companies around the world are actually going to go up in value instead, which is insane to think about. Looking at where we've been from Corona, to just go back in history, and all the money they printed, and then the outcome for the companies, they sold less, etc., etc. But now they say we might go back to a bull market, but we just have to wait and see. Now, the reason the stock market has gone up a little bit, let me just jump over to US 30. That's the 30 biggest companies in the US. We did break below here, below the level of support that was created. So now there is a probability that the market actually will go lower from here. So something like this might happen, but news can always change that. So for example, now we got news that, and this was confirmed, that the First Citizen Bank, they will actually buy much of the collapsed Silicon Valley Bank, and therefore as well pay back the loans or the debt they had, which triggered a rally in the market. Now, if that can be sustained, we might retake this and then continue the way up. We might retake the level of support that was created. So I think this is looking really, really interesting at the moment. Now, the news that came out last week was that they are going to do a 25 basis point hike, which is priced in the market, which is why we got a positive reaction in the market. But also, Jerome Powell from Fed with Janet Yellen, they had speeches and said that the inflation is still higher and the Fed are going to continue to combat this. But he gave confidence in the market regarding the banking system, saying that everything is in place to protect the banks. So they're doing what they can to protect the banks, at least shorter term. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out longer term. But yeah, we'll see what's going to happen with this. But just in summarize, a really mixed news out there. So we don't know which way the market is going to go. And a really interesting piece of news that came out is Twitter has actually issued a subpoena to software collaborator GitHub as a result of user leaking part of the source code which allowed the social media platform to run. So what's happening in the world now with AI, you can literally build a business with AI, but also with GitHub and programming, a lot of programming could come out and become open source. And imagine if something like Twitter came out and, well, their source code, and someone can just replicate Twitter like this, boom. And that is what might happen. So we'll see what's going to happen here. But the Twitter is not happy with the software collaborator GitHub at the moment, but we'll see how that goes out. So before we go into any other news, I do want to mention here that the new buffalo we're looking at the moment is Peloton. The market reacted positively and we think we might even be able to go higher. So currently we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we have 4 bounces. So we have a really good reward risk ratio here. So this red area, for every 1% we risk, we might be able to, in this case, gain 5. The green area is 5 times as big as the red, which is really, really cool to see. So with that being said, I want to dive into cryptos. So the crypto market has been a bit of a roller coaster, and since the banking situation, which we had down here, the market has rallied higher, and Bitcoin actually rallied up 40% since that announcement that the banks were collapsing around the world. So maybe finally the crypto world is now not correlated or have decoupled from the stock market, and I really hope and wish that is true. Now, there are a couple of really cool news here. So with these prizes here, Microstrategy, which the founder Michael Saylor, you can see here, Michael Saylor, he's the founder of Microstrategy. They actually just bought another 6,455 Bitcoin, which is hundreds of millions. And they have an average price of Bitcoin, for $29,000 per Bitcoin. So they will only be plus after Bitcoin goes up above 29,000, and its close is around 27,000 in the time the time when we record this video here. So this could be a good opportunity if you want to diversify into cryptos. Even though you might not be able to buy cryptos, you want to do it in your ISO in a stock account, then MicroStrategy could be interesting here. They have hundreds of thousands, they have billions in crypto. He's really going for it, and they are buying it for a reason, hopefully. And this is what's really cool, right? Let's go back to Bitcoin for a moment here. And in the crypto market, this is usually what triggers the next bull market. And by the way, we are 1 year away from the halving. This is usually when the next bull market starts, by the way, if we look back in history. But we have now gotten some really interesting news that came out here. So number 1, Coinbase receives an SEC warning, and CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, fires back. Now, SEC is really going after Coinbase, saying you can't do what you've done with staking, a way to get dividend from cryptos. But Armstrong and Brian is saying, the CEO, like, you need to kind of, create the regulation a little bit better and easier for us. Otherwise, they will go out of US, because US is making it very difficult for crypto companies. So if US want to be one of the superpowers in the world, I think they need to adopt cryptos in a whole nother way than they are. And also some other news. The crypto fugitive Do Kwon, the founder of Terra Luna, has now been arrested in Montenegro. So it really marks a significant development in the investigation of Terra stablecoin crash. The whole Terra ecosystem really crashed a while back. And just for your information, if you missed this, Terra Luna was one of the biggest cryptocurrencies in the world. And the US and South Korean authorities are expecting to continue their efforts to have him extradited and brought to justice for the role he had in the fraud as well. So we'll see how that develops, but hopefully we can get some truth out of this as well. And this is some really good news here as well. This is also one of the reasons the crypto market has gone up. Nasdaq is entering the crypto custody game. So Nasdaq, what they're doing is creating a platform for institutions to invest, and they're doing this by the end of Q2 2023 now. So institutions can invest into Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is Nasdaq we're talking about. So it's a giant platform, which is going to be really, really exciting to look at. And yeah, that is pretty much it. And the last piece of news I do want to share with you is this. It really is the fact that Binance US, they are now being sued. So if you're using Binance US, you might want to think twice. You might want to move over to something else. So they are actually being sued for illegal activities and that they have been ignoring the law. So they're being investigated at the moment, but they are pushing back because they, of course, they have a really good team of lawyers as well. So with that being said, let's have a look at some of the cryptos here we're buying and what could happen next in cryptos. I want to look at the weekly chart here. So I think there is a high probability that we will go up to this level here, which we did visit before the market came crashing down a little bit. So we did visit this zone up here, which we spoke about a week or so ago. That this here was a zone that the market might want to go to then go down a little bit. So currently we believe that we could revisit the lower to 20,000s to then carry on the way up. I think we are in a very bullish phase in the market just because of everything that is happening and all the adoption that is happening as well. And some of the projects I want to be looking at today is Matic. One of them is Matic. Now, we have been investing in Matic quite a long time, but if you have not invested in Matic, now might be a really good time. So looking over here, it's down 34% from its high as we speak. And with the small cap or with the CCA strategy, you would enter at the minus 20% and minus 30% to get your average price down. And then the next entry is minus 40%. And Matic, it's a layer 2 solutions on Ethereum. So Ethereum is one of the biggest blockchains in the world. And Matic is scaling Ethereum, which is really, really cool. So if you're new to this, right, this is a good one to have a look at. And they've just released some really important updates as well that is very strong for the community. And the next one I want to be looking at is Chainlink. Now, Link is really ranging back and forth, and it's down 79% from its high. So looking back a bit, we actually invested from this point here. So all the way here down to, and now it's down 82%. It's a great time to be investing into Chainlink if you haven't done so. So down 82%, I would just enter with the 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then just put an order in for minus 90% drop as well. Why? Because Chainlink is an oracle. They are connecting. Just imagine, for example, if Amazon, Google, and all these internet companies could work together and really take the strength from each other. That is what Chainlink is providing. They're providing a way for blockchains to support and help each other. So they are an interoperability blockchain. And one that you might want to avoid right now, we actually invested into this, right? Minus 87%. So if you're holding this, I would hold, but not necessarily invest more. The reason for this is that ApeCoin, they are heavily involved in metaverse and NFTs, so it could be a good buying opportunity, but we've seen a lot less interest around the area, so this might be one to suffer from that, which we have seen in the price decline as well. Now, the only thing I do want to mention here is, and what's important, is that we need to really stay on top of this, because when that changes, this could be a really good opportunity to get into as well. So do your due diligence, and if you could only pick like 10 cryptos, what would it be? Comment below, which 10 cryptos would you invest into? And if you want to learn how to do this, learn some of these strategies, make sure you become an IM Insider. So press the link below so you can join and actually learn the foundations of the crypto market as well. So last but by no means least, let's dive into the area of stocks. So FedEx has really rushed and ramped higher here, and we are currently we entered minus 26, minus 37, minus 49. So from this, we have an average price around here, and we're up roughly 20% from this. So currently, I would put a stop loss at the 15% rise, around $205 at the moment. So just to lock in those profits. The other one to do that with is Meta. Here is our average price, around 118. We're currently up quite a bit on this. Oh, sorry, it's actually a little bit higher. So we have it around $138 is our average price. Currently, we're up roughly 50% on this. So now is a good time to get your stop loss in if you haven't. So I would put my stop loss in this scenario on Facebook around the 30 or 40% mark, just below this trough over here. So this is a really, really interesting and good opportunity to be looking at as well, to take profits on. But not yet. We're getting the stop loss in. No emotions here. So last but by no means least, we're getting a stop loss in at 10% for Apple as well. And for PAS, we actually took some profits last week. We had our stop loss at 20%, and it went down and took us out over here. So now we made a profit there, which is a big moo. That's what we do. We moo when we are milking the cow, right? When we're taking profits, which is really important. And the one I want to add today is EQT Corporation. Now, EQ Corporation, they actually work in natural gas. And I do want to have a look at the fundamentals here because they are solid. You can see the first time they actually went into profit. The next 5 years, next year, 85% earnings per share increase, which is looking really good. Return on investment, equity and assets looking really strong. That means they're using the capital really well. And they have a PEG ratio of 0.6. If that's below 1, it means that it's undervalued because it shows you the price to earnings compared to growth. And it looks to be undervalued as well. So really, really solid and good opportunity as well. And currently, being down 40% from its high, we believe it's going to be a really, really good entry price. So, last but by no means least, I want to just summarize this. And result-wise, we took 30% in profit on our VCA strategy, nothing on Buffalo this week. And for those of you who are new, the Buffaloes is on the total portfolio. So on the total portfolio here, we are up 73% since August 2020. On VCA, we took 30% profit today. So that's a big move. So well done if you did that as well. Comment below. Did you take profits on anything recently? And what was it, if that's the case as well? The crypto market has still been ranging a bit sideways, and we are getting there, right? The bull market is starting, so it is good time now when Nasdaq is getting involved as well to really dig into it. So become an IM Insider today. Very, very important. So before we leave today, like I said, press the link below, become an IM Insider to get the trade of the week, the stock of the week, the crypto of the week, and also a weekly update that we send to you as well, and a lot of other exclusive content that will get you well on your journey to become a seasoned investor. Now, I hope you really enjoyed this video today and this section or this session of Trades of the Week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing. Press that like button and also the alarm bell to ensure you're getting these updates on a regular basis. So from myself and the entire team at Investment Mastery, we wish you a really great trading week, and we cannot wait to see you on the next edition of Trades of the Week.